We are starting the Mari route now, and this takes place right after Haruki writes the article about Toma, and Chiaki wants to come over to work on her paper.
Listen, can we leave it for tomorrow?
For real? I have to come all the way to Minami Suetsugo even though I don't have any lectures or seminars?
You did say tomorrow is fine too, right?
I also said if you seriously can't do it, didn't I? Are you telling me there's something you absolutely can't put off? Something more important than the two of us being alone together from dusk until dawn?
So stop nonchalantly trying to get a rise out of me by spouting all that nonsense.
Oh, that sharp comeback of yours is such a great measure of your heart's health, Haruki. Yup, looking splendidly dark in there today too.
Don't treat others' words and actions like they were excrement. Notwithstanding the fact that if my heart was actually dark, it'd be a health issue.
So, you seriously can't take a day off? And here I've been waiting for this moment for so long, Haruki.
I suppose I can't. It's always very busy there after all. The truth is, given that my busy period already passed last week, today's actually the day where I'll probably find it the easiest to get some rest within my half-year period of working there. Though I imagine the others in the editing department will be chanting out incantations as the year-end approaches and slowly turn into zombies. Well, putting that aside for now.
You know, I've always cared about you a lot more than you think I do.
Yeah, I'm seriously very busy. They'll usually force me to work until morning on weekends without batting an eye.
So, are you really a masochist after all, Haruki?
I might be. If I'm not worked to the bone at least once every 3 days, it might actually be detrimental to my health.
Kirahara! Calculate the sum here. I'm begging you.
Wait, didn't I tell you to use the macro I made?
I don't know how to use that. Please, help me out here.
Alright, please upload the data onto the file server. When do you need it by?
Friday, exactly at midnight.
What if it's already half an hour past midnight?
Hold it, Hamada-san. You can't take over Kirahara-kun now. My work here takes priority.
What's that? Is that the kind of attitude you should have when talking to your superior? They've been rushing me on this since yesterday.
Same here. The due date already passed 2 days ago.
Suzuki-san, I just finished your part, so please don't start arguing now.
What about mine? How's the progress on annotating my article?
I'm working on that right now. Please, come check again in 2 hours.
2 more hours? Hey, Kitahara, can you help out Matsuoko? The print shop has been waiting too long for this.
Don't screw with me here. The thing you're working on didn't even sell 50,000 copies. Get your priorities straight.
Even if it only prints 100 copies, we must never slack off. Weren't you the one who taught me that when I joined this company?
And how many years ago was that?
Let's calm down and get along now, everyone. In the first place, his speech could have been a great lesson for everyone for years to come. But Hamada-san just denied it with a single sentence himself. Like I said before, it's 12:30 now. Kaiosha Building, 3rd floor. A long night at the Kaiograph editing department. Does the year-end tradition really take such a toll on the human spirit?
Phew, I'm back. Oh, everyone's doing their best, huh?
Thanks for the hard work, Mari-san. Thanks for the hard work. With everyone on edge like this, a person barging in, speaking with such a spirited voice, would definitely pour oil on the fire.
I've finally finished all my work. All right, it's a miracle. I can finally get some rest this weekend.
And especially if there's only one person who's completed all her tasks.
Ah, jeez. It was a close call this time. I hate how all these events and holidays are packed in at the end of the year. Why can't we just completely abolish things like long holidays from the world?
On top of that, while everyone else is working desperately, she's here talking about such blissful days. As if things she said earlier weren't bad enough.
Well, I guess I don't have to come by tomorrow since I'm done. Whatever should I do now?
Then come help me out. Then come help out here, is the aura everyone's emitting. But no one dares actually voice it. No matter how you look at it, she took on a bigger workload than anyone here and was out running to different places earlier too. No one can disagree with that.
Anyone want to go have a drink now?
Sure, after finishing something important, you do have the right to relax now. But not to the point where you blatantly ignore the atmosphere.
Anyone want to go have a drink?
I could. Never mind.
What's wrong? Why are you all being so cold? Come on, it's a rare occasion after all.
Mari-san, I guess there's no helping it. I'll have to take one for the team. I suppose that even if I made Mari-san mad, I'm still just a part-timer, so it shouldn't affect me as much. The truth is, the only one who's done with their work is...
It's just you and Kitahara-kun, Mari-san.
Just as I muster enough courage to stand up, Suzuki-san starts providing covering fire. Or so I thought. But instead, she shot me right in the back.
Just Kitahara?
That's right. So thanks for your hard work, Mari-san. You too, Kitahara-kun.
But
You can leave Hamada-san's work to me. I know how the macro works. In exchange, I'll ask him to help out with my work too.
Yeah, we'll think of some way to solve the issue here. So, go where you need to be, Kitahara.
what do you mean, where I need to be? Am I supposed to be the ideal person to take on the role of being Mari-san's drinking buddy?
You're fine with that arrangement, right, Mari-san?
Sure, yeah.
It's fine with you too, right, Kitahara? Thanks for your hard work today.
Mari-san?
Let's go, Kitahara. Well, then, if you'll excuse us.
Just like that, in an attempt to save everyone by taking the fall for them, I ended up heading in an extremely weird direction before I realized it. I'm not sure if I've been offered up as a sacrifice or if I actually got lucky, but I definitely got forced into a very awkward situation.
They left?
Yeah, they left.
Right? Mari-san was embarrassed earlier, wasn't she? Because she'll get to be alone with Kirahara-kun.
It's the first time I've seen her with that kind of expression.
See? Didn't I tell you before? I saw Mari-san try to seduce Kirahara-kun.
Are you for real? Kazuoka and the student part-timer? Isn't the bar way too high?
For who?
For the both of them.
You all start getting along again when it's about gossip like this.
Really? The article you wrote was used already, Haruki-kun? That's great! Congratulations! The way you tried to humble yourself by writing, "I only got the job because I personally knew the subject," is so like you. But there's no point in making an excuse like that. The fact of the matter is that you seized your chance through your own pure effort. So, no matter how much you tried to disagree, Haruki-kun, I still think you're amazing. That's why I'd like you to brag more in front of me. I'd like you to be just a little bit more selfish. Sorry for going off topic. Well, when will it be published? Please tell me the name and the release date of the magazine. I'll buy it for sure. It'd be nice if you got some recognition for this article by the publishing company. It'd be nice if you could take on a bigger task next time. You're one step closer to your goal, Haruki-kun. I should do my best and start working towards my own goals too. But before that, I need to figure out what my goal actually is, don't I? Well, I'll be seeing you. I'll go to sleep after I send this text. And also, thank you for your second text yesterday. Good night. Sorry, that phone call took way too long.
What would you like to drink?
I guess I'll start out with some beer.
Just as we arrived at the bar, Mari-san's phone started ringing, and we both thought we'd have to postpone this. Still, the fact that we're still here ordering drinks is because that call wasn't Hamada-san screaming, Kazaki-san's grumbling, or even Suzuki-san's crying.
By the way, there'll be another person joining us later?
The one you were just on the phone with?
Yep. Since that person's done with work early too, she wanted to invite me to drink with her until morning. Done for as a woman, I guess.
Is that so? I don't have the courage to ask what she's referring to. Rather, it's not a question I should even be asking. When she mentioned that her particular friend had finished early, though, she'd clearly forgotten that it's already 1 a.m. in the first place. Are all the people around Mari-san workaholics just like her?
This'll be your first time meeting her, Kitahara. So, I feel kinda sorry about that.
I don't mind. The more the merrier.
Is that so? That's great. I told her I'm with a university student right now. And after she heard that, she said she definitely had to come.
Oh, thank you. Since she's so eager to join us, I wonder what she's expecting. Guess I'll use this time now to think of ways to apologize for not meeting her expectations.
But, yeah, it's great. Honestly, it's great that she's able to come.
True. I guess it would be kind of boring to just talk to me. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at livening things up.
Oh, that's not what I meant. Well, I guess we'll be fine after we talk a bit more. I'd like to apologize about last time. I said a lot of rude things to you.
I see. She's worried about that. I see. She's worried about that.
Now that I think about it, no, actually, I've known it all along. It was your first time getting an assignment like that. I shouldn't have made a part-timer handle such a thing.
What are you saying at this stage, Mari-san? You're the one who made me write a proposal document on my third day.
That was because you personally asked to work for a publisher, Kitahara. No one has ever gotten to do something like that before, you know? I almost want to make you pay an internship fee.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's why I said at this stage.
You're only perfect when it comes to debating.
That's because I've received enough training during this past half year. Ever since I started working at Kyograph, I felt like I'm no longer a student. Unlike the job at the family restaurant and the prep school, I've gotten so much experience here. I've learned so much that I don't even think I deserve to get paid. No, maybe that's going a bit too far. This has also been the first job that has worked me to the bone, after all.
Well, rather than scolding you, I feel bad for trying to encourage you. Heal scars left from love with love itself. If possible, I'd like to ask you to forget about all that.
Yeah, that was... just thinking about it makes me feel extremely awkward.
About me acting all high and mighty and making a speech that could lead to a huge misunderstanding. I thought about that afterward.
No, I don't really... This is bad. I can't even taste my drink. It's probably the same for the person next to me. She hasn't even taken a sip of her beer she ordered. Normally, she'd finished her first glass in less than 10 seconds and immediately ordered another one.
Since there are so many coincidences overlapping, it feels very awkward to talk about it.
Is that so? What's overlapping exactly? I won't pry too deeply into that kind of topic, though. Not yet. But what does she mean?
That's why I'd be thankful if you could just forget about it.
I refuse.
Kitahara!
But I was really embarrassed that time too, but...
Hold on. I never said I was embarrassed, did I?
If you're not embarrassed, then there's no reason to forget, is there?
How is it possible to not feel embarrassed by that? Even now, I feel like my face is burning.
But it made me very happy. It gave me encouragement.
Eh?
The fact that the words she said back then saved me is not a lie. It's unmistakably and undoubtedly true. Please encourage me every once in a while again, even if it's only 1/10 of the usual scoldings I receive. Without a doubt, I'm only able to talk to her like this now thanks to the fact that she overdid it that time.
You don't think of me as an overbearing woman?
I always welcome advice and lectures from adults with more experience than me.
We're not that far apart in age.
The people around me always twist logic so much that it gives me a headache. Even if they're being completely unreasonable, they still talk believing they're correct. Of course, that goes for me too. The difference is in the amount of life experience we have. And in your case, you're gaining experience 24 hours a day, Mari-san.
Hurry up and apply for Kyosha officially then, Kitahara. I'll make you gain experience at the same rate as me.
Picking a job is likely to affect my entire life, so I'll properly decide after having thought about it thoroughly.
I see you're only really well prepared with retorts. Oh well, let's have a toast, shall we?
Cheers. Come to think of it, about what you mentioned before, did it really get the green light on the first try? My article, that is.
Not only did it get a green light on the first try, it was even highly praised. Well, I was pretty confident about it passing myself, too.
Their chief editor must be pretty big-hearted.
It wasn't just the chief editor. You even got an endorsement from Tomoyoko's office PLC. They immediately sent an email saying they have great admiration for your work.
Great admiration?
From what I heard, the title of the email was something like, "I'm laughing so hard my stomach is hurting," apparently.
Without a doubt, that email came from the company president herself.
Is that for real? So all the members were in a relationship with a single girl?
All the members except for me. That's the important part.
And what? You ended up all alone, Kitahara?
No, there were two people. Me and the club president. But we were both guitarists, so we were really in a pinch.
So, you went looking for members with just a month left? Sounds like a teenage band movie you'd see nowadays.
It really wasn't that cool. I was just a backup myself. I'd only started playing guitar half a year prior, you know?
But you sounded so great, didn't you?
That's because I went through special training. I barely got any sleep during the last week.
Are you a genius at cramming or something?
No, I'm not a genius. My mentor was.
Your mentor?
Be it guitar, bass, or sex, she was great at everything. A really strict person.
Oh.
Excuse me, could I have the same drink again? The words that spill out of my throat and the burning sensation of the alcohol sliding down it seem to complement each other well. Perhaps I'm getting tipsy just a bit faster than usual today, despite the fact that I'm respecting my limits and drinking only as much as I can handle. Unlike the person next to me.
Hey, Kitahara?
What is it? Is it because my first manuscript got approved? Is it because the terrible cold of night revitalized the snow, which was on the verge of finally melting, forming ice even colder than before? But then the gentle winter sun finally came up to melt it once and for all. Or is it...
Was that person Toma Kazusa?
Yeah, because of the fact that it somehow doesn't feel painful remembering her right now compared to any other time I've ever had.
What kind of person was she?
Oh,
never mind. Sorry, you wouldn't want to talk about something so private, right? Not with your boss.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Like I said before, I've moved on already.
Kitahara?
In addition, the way she drew that line between us somehow had the opposite effect of making it easier for me to talk to her. I want a certain junior of mine who happens not to understand the meaning of the word boundaries to learn a thing or two from her. She's really strict, you know? So much, in fact, that I'd say she's as strict as you are, Mari-san.
You don't have to specifically use me as an example.
Come to think of it, you're kind of similar to her, I think.
What are you planning, using that old line on me?
Oh, I guess not, actually. In her case, she can't do anything besides music.
I can't do anything besides my work either.
What am I? She lived in a huge house by herself and never cleaned up.
The place where I live is a small apartment, but we're similar in that we never clean up. I usually just pass out when I get home and throw my dirty clothes in a pile.
I'm talking about Kazusa in front of another woman. She always ate nothing but convenience store meals or fast food.
I was thinking about making this amazing burger lately, but the problem with making it is that it would take too much time.
Even though the mere memory of her pained me so much in the past. Even though the very act of talking about her felt like punishment to me. I guess you're pretty similar after all.
Maybe we are, huh?
Should I start lecturing you?
Rather than getting lectured, I'd rather have someone help me with my cleaning, laundry, and meals.
The women around me have been talking about these things so calmly recently. Is this a nationwide trend or something?
Kitahara, are you taking care of a woman right now?
Huh?
Well, aren't you doing well? Are you living with her?
No, it's only when I'm helping her with her paper. We're not living together, or rather, we're not even in that kind of relationship, so...
Hey, come on. Tell me about it. Since you're helping with her paper, you're from the same university, right? What kind of girl is she?
Mari-san, I think you're
Oh, isn't this shameful? An older woman trying to seduce a young man. Is this what they call harvesting while it's still unripe?
Older woman?
Wait a minute. Why are you reacting to that?
I reacted to the voice that suddenly appeared behind my back. But Mari-san doesn't seem to be very happy with my reaction.
Oh. So you're Mari-san's part-time slave?
I'm Mari-san's...
Nice to meet you. I'm Amamiya. Thanks for always taking care of Mari.
She hands me her business card with the name of a famous travel agency. A position that appears to be quite prestigious, with the name Amamiya Sawako printed on it. Not at all. Nice to meet you too. My name is Kitahara Haruki.
I'm the one taking care of him here.
I'm sorry. What's the matter now? Mari-san seems to be mad about something and won't even turn her head to greet her, even though her best friend finally arrived. Wasn't she the one who asked her to come? Oh? Since high school?
Yep. We've been best friends for 10 years now. Back then, people called us the Tempest Duo.
Just talking about wind from Kazuoka and rain from Amamiya isn't enough to make Tempest. So, where did that third character come from?
Don't make up lies. We haven't known each other for 10 years yet.
And Mari-san has been doing nothing but nitpicking whatever she says for a while now.
Keep on trying to hide your actual age like that, and you're going to drive yourself down a rabbit hole, you know? What's wrong with speaking the truth? By the way, you're a Hojo student, you say, and it seems you've been raised from the ground up.
No, that's actually only for students who have enrolled since kindergarten. I only enrolled since high school, so it's nothing really.
And what do you mean by rabbit hole anyway? I never once lied about my age to begin with.
Mari-san doesn't seem to be following the conversation at all.
Hey, are you some sort of rich boy? Like from a millionaire family or something?
If I were some sort of rich boy, I wouldn't be working part-time, would I? My parents are pretty normal too. I don't actually know about what the rest of my family is like, but it doesn't really concern me or even matter to me anyway.
Yep, young guys are so great.
All the men over 30 years old at my workplace?
Is that so? Her tempo is really fast. She's already changed the subject before 10 seconds have even passed.
On the other hand, his way of thinking is really old-fashioned. Well, isn't it fine as long as his looks are good?
He doesn't look that good either.
I'm sorry. Also, I'm sitting right here.
There you go again. Pretending to be some kind of perfectionist, Mari.
You two totally fit each other's standards, don't you?
Each other's standards? What? Actually, I can probably guess what she meant, but is that really what she's suggesting?
Don't force your tastes onto others.
I know all about your tastes, though. I haven't known you for 10 years for nothing, you know.
Don't say something so embarrassing out loud. It's only been 9 years.
You two met in second year of high school, right? So 9 years from then would be...
What are you trying to calculate, Kitahara?
I'm sorry. After all, even though she never lied about her age, she never once actually told me how old she actually is either.
I guess I shouldn't have called you over, Sawako. You can go home now.
What is this? Weren't you the one who was begging me to come, sounding like you were on the verge of tears? I came over even though I wanted to just go home and pass out. I totally rushed to get here earlier, too.
This situation has completely changed since you have arrived, Sawako. Right now, you're just a nuisance.
Mari-san, that's a little harsh.
What are you talking about, Kitahara? She just lied, you know? As if I would ever be on the verge of tears.
Either way, that's not really important. Please, just calm down a bit.
See? Even Kitahara's on my side. Perhaps you're the one that should be going home, Mari?
What's the meaning of this, Kitahara? How many times have I helped you so far?
That's not the problem here. Could you figure that out already?
Yes! Now we're at the tiebreaker again.
You're quite persistent, aren't you? Just admit defeat already.
How'd it turn out like this?
Right, that makes it 3 against 3. The next game should decide the victor.
This time we'll settle it for sure.
That's an odd batting pose. The two women who were arguing at the bar decided to settle this the usual way. And then, all of a sudden, we were heading toward a nearby arcade building. At the time, I thought they would settle the victor with a game of darts or pool, but I soon realized I'd been way too naive.
We're working up this much of a sweat even though it's winter.
Well played. You must be tired. Would you like some cola?
Thank you. You're so considerate, Haruki-kun.
How many times do I have to tell you not to side with her? Kitahara, I'll make you regret this starting next week.
Didn't I do the same thing for you earlier, Mari-san?
What's with the two timing? I've got a bad feeling you're going to be the subject of a catfight soon enough. Did that dishearten you? Sorry about that.
The two pressed the top floor button on the batting cage's elevator without a second thought. After getting there, they both exchanged a 1,000 yen bill for 5 coins, then picked out a bat that suited them the best. As of now, they're tied with 3 home runs each. Normally speaking, it'd be pretty hard to score that many, even if one tries to do so.
so close. It's just a meter short.
She's swaying left and right. Are you at your limit already?
These two must be veterans.
Ah, so good. Drinking cola after a good sweat during winter tastes extra good. If I go out like this, I'll probably freeze though.
Ugh. Just from imagining how cold it is outside, I can't help but shiver a little myself. In front of me, there's Mari-san's dignified figure in her suit, using her high heels as a pivot to rotate her body, scoring a lot of great hits. She must be aiming to get a home run every single time. Still, I'm impressed you two can strain your bodies so much considering how drunk you are.
Yep, our reflexes are top-notch, you know. We used to always go play as substitutes for our softball club. It's just that our teamwork was really chaotic every time we were on the same team, so it usually ended pretty badly.
Wouldn't it be because you would always be competing like this, even though it's pointless?
Well, she's always been the slightest bit ahead of me. But it's our test scores, number of university acceptances, or even number of confessions we received.
If she found out that you told me this, wouldn't she get mad again later? Mari-san from her high school days, huh? She must have been very energetic, cool, and unforgiving. The boys probably respected and feared her at the same time. Nothing's changed there.
Well, let me just vent my bitterness a bit, would you? Not to mention she's even winning in terms of her boyfriend's age this time.
Really? Huh?
Please, take good care of Mari.
So, it really is that. That's why I felt so weird earlier.
She's a good person, even though I hate to admit it. She's a very cute woman, just a little stubborn. So, promise not to abandon her?
No, listen to me. I think you might have a very big misunderstanding. So, to protect Mari-san's honor, I should tell you this.
Eh?
I'm not actually dating Mari-san.
You're not?
Rather than that, how did you even get that idea?
Are you really just friends? Haruki-kun, are you not attracted to Mari at all?
Hold on. Before you ask about how I feel about her...
What are you saying? She's just spinning her wheels? A one-sided affair or just a misunderstanding? How miserable! Mari, this feels pretty good.
It's not like that. Please listen to me until the end. Are these two really best friends? That's why it's the opposite, Amamiya-san. I'm the one who's not good enough for her. There's no way Mari-san would have any feelings for me. You should at least know that since you two are best friends, right?
I really wouldn't know.
Amamiya-san's expression shows that she's interested in this topic, but she doesn't seem to believe what I'm telling her. Besides, if she were together with someone like me, it would only lower Mari-san's worth. Do you know how many people respect her at our workplace alone?
Mari should be the one who decides her worth herself. Her workplace should have nothing to do with her love life at all, either.
Yep, something I've heard very often is, you don't get to choose if you're worthy of her. She gets to choose if you're worthy of her. It goes both ways. If you don't think you're worthy of her and she thinks you're worthy of her, you're worthy of her. If you think you're worthy of her and she doesn't think you're worthy of her, you're not.
And just looking at it all objectively, You two don't seem like a bad match at all, you know?
Forget about believing me. She doesn't even plan on listening to me. I'm just a university student, you know?
And in the eyes of someone from your generation, you'd earn the praise, "Nice job, you bastard." Well, not that you are one, but you know what I mean.
Mari-san isn't someone shallow enough to pick her partner based on their age.
Well, of course, that's exactly right. But I still think Mari chose you because she sees more in you beyond that.
Yeah, she's not shallow enough to choose someone because of their age, and she's not shallow enough to reject someone because of their age. There has to be more. In that case,
For Mari to accept a mere university student, she must have either blindly fallen in love, or that man must have been a good match for her. You know how she handles things, right? And you know how good of a judge of character she is, right?
I do.
That's why, since Mari has already accepted you, I can't really believe what you just said earlier.
The way Amamiya laid out her counter-argument feels like she's using brute force. How should I put this? It's as if there's a mysterious power within it that can seal her opponent's lips, even though I can't accept anything she just said.
Besides, appearance, personality, position, and age, the relationship between a man and a woman shouldn't be decided on those trivial things.
Haven't you experienced the same? Even so, that final remark was so persuasive that it completely shattered any remaining ability within me to refute her. After all, there were indeed people around me in the past who have had poor taste.
I haven't exercised like that in a while, but I don't feel so good.
Of course you don't. It's a miracle that you haven't toppled over after drinking so much. In the end, Mari-san won the home run competition by a small margin, with a score of 6-5. Both of them were satisfied with the result in the end, and seemed to have forgotten the reason for the competition in the first place. So they parted on surprisingly good terms. I guess they really are best friends.
I'm sorry about that. Making you bear witness to an ugly fight between women?
Don't worry about it. I was pretty surprised, though.
I'm sorry. She can be really childish sometimes. She surprised you, didn't she?
What surprised me wasn't seeing the childish side of the woman I just met, but the childish side of the woman I've known for a while now.
Well...
It seems like she understands now, as Mari-san awkwardly scratches her cheek with her finger. I never thought I'd manage to be so forward as to lecture Mari-san like this. Is this the power of alcohol? But given the fact that she's walking alone, I wouldn't be able to tell if she's drunk at all.
At first, I was worrying that it'd be awkward if it was just the two of us, Kirahara. That's why I called Sawaka over.
You already told me about that.
But it seems we got along better than expected as we talked more, Kirahara. That really made me happy.
Thank you? I guess she is a little drunk after all.
And right then, Sawako kind of barged in without even reading the mood. And I thought she might end up being a nuisance.
At this rate, when we see each other next time, we'll probably feel rather awkward if she still remembers what happened today. And because you acted like that, you led Sawako-san to a misunderstanding, you know?
Sawako-san?
Amamiya-san!
Uh-oh.
Right before we said goodbye, she forced me to promise to call her by her first name, just like I do with Mari-san.
Kitahara, Is that the kind of woman you like? I suggest you just stop now. How much older do you think she is?
Isn't she the same age as you, Mari-san?
So, what was that misunderstanding about?
Amamiya-san has a huge misunderstanding, you know? I think you should correct her later. I had a feeling she would change the topic, but I didn't think it would go exactly the way I imagined it.
I just asked you. What did she misunderstand?
She thought I was your boyfriend, Mari-san.
So what if she did?
Yeah, she's completely hammered. Yeah, she's completely wasted. Is it really okay to lie to your best friend?
Well, if you don't want to lie to her, why don't we just make it the truth?
This rate, when we see each other next time, she'll probably fire me with her face burning red. She wouldn't do that, would she?
Just kidding. Sawako would know very well something like that would never happen.
Would be nice if she did.
She was just messing with you, Kitahara. She doesn't get many chances to drink with young men, so she probably let loose, I guess.
If that's the case, then that's no, that's still not fine. As a result, I couldn't understand the hidden messages between these two best friends after all. If the words Mari-san just said were to be relayed to Sawako-san, she'd probably just say something like, Mari was the one who let loose, and their little squabble would continue.
Alright, let's part ways here.
Aren't we still 30 minutes away from the station?
I need to take a taxi back to the editing department.
Right now?
Suzuki sent me a text earlier. She's practically crying for me to come back and help.
Oh, we should stop this topic too. I'll act like nothing happened and greet her normally next week.
Hey, Kitahara.
Yeah?
Thanks for hanging out with me today. Next time, I'll treat everyone from the department.
Mari-san, be careful on your way home, okay? See ya! Because it's obvious. I definitely fell for Sawako-san's trap. Just like Mari-san said, she was just messing with me. It must have been due to the fact that Sawako-san never gets to drink with younger men often. She lost control and decided to mess with me. But leaving that aside, it was just plain rude. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and all that. All in all, you do not choose who you are worthy of. And conversely, you do get to choose who is worthy of you. So, you shouldn't reject someone because you don't think you're good enough. If they think you're good enough for them, that is all that matters. Now, of course, if you have other reasons to reject them, that's valid. I'm just saying, you thinking you are not good enough is not a valid reason. You are worthy of being loved.